Hey gang, Steve with Guitar Center. We're at NAMM 2023. We're hanging out with John in the Yamaha booth, and we're checking out the new DM3 Series Mixers. How you doing, John?
Oh, awesome, man. We're all NAMMed up. My feet are hurting. Well, you know it's NAMM show, you know.
Yeah, well, you got to get out there and you got to live that NAMM dream, So tell me about this mixer.
Yeah, we are really happy to have the DM series launch at this show. It's really cool. We have two models, and this model that we're going to look at today is this DM3S, which is your standard version, which has all the analog inputs and outputs on it. 16 analog ins and 8 outs on it. And then it also has all your USB in and out as well for your computer. So it's a great USB interface, 18 by 18. So it's really nice that way. This will run at 96 kilohertz, and everything we talk about isn't shorted by going to the higher clock speeds, so you get that higher performance and a real crisp sound. Really good for recording.
That's really cool. So run me through some of the overarching benefits of getting into a digital mixing world.
Yeah, it's fun to watch somebody go from analog to digital. One of the most wonderful things is the ability to recall. You can go right back to where you were. So once you've worked in a church or once you've been in a club and you want to get back to that same spot, you just go recall. There's hundreds of memories in here for you. So wherever you are, you can always just reload those scenes. So you're always have a good starting point.
For somebody who's managing in-ear monitor mixes plus a front of house mix, how can that serve their needs?
Oh, as a musician, think this through a second. You'd be able to kill the reverbs in between songs. You'd be able to turn things off when you weren't playing them. No noise, better sound. Your audience would love it. And anybody who's seen a theatrical show, particularly like out in Vegas or something, they're seeing that every night, over and over, that repeatability. Man, it's great.
So let's talk about a little bit about the feel. We talk about the feel in instruments a lot, but how's the feel of using the mixer for, let's say, an experienced front of house person? What might they experience using it?
So, well, the first thing a front of house guy is going to say is, it's awful small. I want a big mixer. So you do have to learn that there's a couple of pages of faders. So you move across to them, but that would help us make it compact and easy to move around. So that's the first thing. But they usually grab the faders. They want to make sure that's quality build, and the chassis of some kind of sturdy piece of metal, so it's not going to bend up or be trouble for them. And also that touchscreen, the ability to get anywhere so quick without having to reach around, grab another piece of gear in some rack somewhere. It's all right here.
And so, what are we dealing with in terms of the key, let's say, stats on numbers of mixers, numbers of sub-mixes, numbers of effects, things like that?
That's pretty easy on this guy. So it's a 22 total inputs. We're counting 2 stereo effects returns, and we're counting the USB right here on top of it for recording. And then we're also counting all those analog inputs on the back. And so on the output side, the architecture of the console is 6 Auxes that can be paired for in-ears if you wanted to do stereos. And then you get stereo, and you also get 2 what we call matrices, or mix of the mixes. This is really cool. So think about this a minute. You're at a gig, and you wish you had that same sound, but out in the foyer somewhere, maybe with a little more vocal. Yeah. The matrices are perfect for that.
Wow.
Really helpful.
Nice. And so these are available now to anybody, yeah?
Yeah. And the one other thing I forgot to mention to you is that you'll be able to run this from your iPad. So you'll be able to walk the crowd and adjust as you go. So you can really be out there where the audience is and getting a feel for what it could really sound like.
Well, that's really cool. Thank you so much, John.
Well, it's my pleasure, man. Thanks for coming.
All right, so the new DM3 Series Mixers from Yamaha, check them out at guitarcenter.com or try it out at your local GC.